Fire, simple light. I was a very young kid when my father will be sending me to the forest to pick up wood, branches. So I can help him make a fire, and so he can cook for friends and family every other Sunday. One day I got very upset with him. Daddy, I don't want to make the fire. I want to cook with you. He got me on the side and told me, my son, I know you want to cook, but actually I'm giving you the most important thing. If you control the fire, you'll be able to feed people. I was around 12 when that conversation happened. I never imagined that that conversation will have such an impact in my life. Prometheus, Greek mythology says, created man out of clay. Maybe that's the reason we love to cook on clay pots. But Prometheus, more than anything, mythology said, gave humanity fire and taught us how to control that fire. Thanks to the fire, humanity went from the caves to modern times. But today, the reality is more than 40% of the planet still is cooking, like humanity was cooking thousands of years ago. With everything we know, all the advances that we've achieved as a planet, it still is people cooking like so many centuries ago. And take a look at this photo. You're getting hungry, right? The beautiful steak, the fire, the smoke. Wow, this is tasty. This is what every one of us we do every Sunday at home with our friends, our family. We are proud to be able to grill. You're going to say, that's great. But I'm going to tell you, this is what we do here in America. This is a pleasure. But for many people, it's not a pleasure. For many people, it's almost death. Death. Take a look at this photo. Take a look where this woman is cooking. In this dark room, smoke everywhere. She doesn't own a crib. The children is right in her back. Close proximity to a fire that can burn her. Take a look at the issues that we face by people be using these dirty cook stoves. A lot of health issues by being in these closed rooms with all the smoke around. Those people are already starting their lives with no health. Cancer, lung, heart diseases, cataracts, burns, you name it. Only because the simple thing of trying to feed themselves and their families. You know, the dirty cook stoves and the smoke they produce, they are the number 4 reason of death around the world. Almost 4 million people die directly because the smoke that those dirty kitchens produce. It's next to high blood pressure, alcohol, smoking. Those are the 4 top. But you know, smoking, alcohol, high blood pressure, actually, you and I, if we want, we have the option to change that and make sure that doesn't mean death. Good eating habits, you and I, we can achieve it if we decide to do it. Healthy lifestyle, you and I, we can achieve it if we decide to do it. Take a look what happens with cooking. Cooking is a necessity. People have no other option. They have to feed themselves. They need to cook for themselves and their families every day. But the only thing they have is the same technology that we gave them centuries and centuries ago. The smoke out of these dirty kitchens kills in a very direct way. But actually, those dirty cook stoves bring many more issues forward. Millions of girls and boys around the world, many times alone, go into the forest to pick up wood, to gather wood, putting themselves in harm's way. Because humans take advantage of those little girls, because animals take advantage of those little boys, or because they get injured with the heavy loads that when they are very young, they have to carry sometimes for miles back home. And only because they want to be helping to feed their families. Today, wood is the most obvious fuel that we have. Every forest is fuel for the fire. Everyone keeps cutting trees, and we are overcutting them. We are cutting so many, like you go to tropical areas like Haiti, and 98% of the country, total deforestation. No one tree left, because we are overusing that fuel to cook. With those woods and those trees they cut, they produce charcoal that is being they traffic between back and forth. If we're not careful, a place like Dominican Republic will start also losing its forests because they are trafficking with charcoal over the frontier, selling it on the other side of the country. The lack of forest multiplies tenfold all the issues that we already have. When a hurricane, a simple storm, not having any forest anywhere around to protect the people already is multiplying the many issues that those people are facing every day, on top of everything we've already mentioned. What is supposed to be fertile land that is supposed to be producing the amazing products that the goodness of the earth is supposed to be giving us, well, the land becomes actually non-fertile. The land becomes dead. When the rains come, water that is supposed to celebrate life, that water comes down like a river through those treeless mountains. Mudslides. All this water going towards the sea takes away homes, good soil, and more important, more often than you think, lives. And in the process, when that mud and that water that is supposed to be nurturing the soil and giving life to new vegetables and fruits that can nourish the people, as this water, dirty water, gets to the reefs and the coastline, reefs that are supposed to be celebrating life and are supposed to be creating jobs for millions of people in the coastlines, the only thing they do, they die. No more life, no more fish, no more hope for those people. So take a look at this. Fire, cooking, fuel, livelihoods, health, wellness, economy, safety, the environment. They are all interconnected, people. All interconnected. So I've shown you the problems. Let me try to show you the solutions and why I'm interested in this. I was in Cayman Islands having a vacation, 2010. Great family vacation. The earthquake hit. A few weeks later, I went to Haiti, more with intentions of learning more than intentions of helping. Take a look at the devastation I saw. People were living in camps, and they were making a little fire to feed their families. Hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people living in very close tents, one next to each other. If any one of those tents went up in flames because the fire they were trying to make only to feed themselves and hit a little bit of water, right there we had the danger of having a great tragedy following a bigger tragedy. And only because they were only trying to feed themselves. Like an explosion about to happen. So take a look at this kid over that dirty cook stove. This to me is one of the reasons that told me I have to be active. And this is when I went to Haiti, I created World Central Kitchen, an organization that is trying only to make sure that food is an agent of change. So I brought with me solar kitchens. This is what we call the clean cook stoves, or the improved cook stoves. Clean cook stoves are already something like, wow, can become the future, an opportunity to many people, many millions of people around the world. Actually, I learned firsthand as a chef that a kitchen could be the Trojan horse that can filtrate around the world to become an agent of change and to start solving problems right there with a simple, humble cook stove. We began doing schools. We began building bakeries, canteens. We began empowering people only by showing up and start giving them culinary education. We began making sure that every project we did will have a clean cook stove at the heart of the project. One day, I got the invitation to become an ambassador, a culinary ambassador for the Alliance of Clean Cook Stoves, something that was masterminded by Secretary Hillary Clinton, and that now is run by the United Nations foundations. Why this is good? Because organizations like mine are small. The Alliance of Clean Stoves is bringing hundreds of organizations around the world, thousands of people, to make sure that by the year 2020, we will have 100 million clean cook stoves around the world. And so, there is hope. Here we will have homes where will not be smoke, where children will be able to eat healthy meal in a healthy place. And actually, where those girls that had to spend hours and hours looking for wood will have time to be spent on education, so they may have a future. And all of a sudden, those forests will be safe, and no one will be cutting them because we don't rely so much in charcoal and wood to be feeding the planet. And actually, women will be empowered to create their own businesses, where they will start opening almost like if they were Apple stores of the cook stoves. And actually, people will start building their own cook stoves in their community. So that simple thing of feeding themselves is igniting an economy where actually jobs are created, and through a humble cook stove, we have a better planet. Here is where we are, people. In 1826, a philosopher, French, called Brillat-Savarin, said, "Tell me what you eat, and I will tell you who you are." He said something even more important. He said, "The future of the nations will depend on how they feed themselves." And I only want you to think for a second. We need to change this phrase. Probably the future of the planet will depend in how we cook the food that fits our planet. And then with this simple idea, I'm only asking you to become an ambassador, to be aware. Every time you go to make yourself a coffee and you light the fire, I only want you to think for 5 seconds that what for you is something like takes a simple second, for millions of people around the world still today takes hours, if not days, to light that fire. And where, hopefully one day, this simple thing of lighting a fire and using a clean cook stove will bring hope to millions of people around the world. Today, a flame is hope. A clean cook stove is the future. Help us. Thank you.